Blacklist, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Why must you be so complicated, yet so awesome at the same time? Enjoyable to watch, but yet really hard to follow. But you really gotta piece together the story. You mostly talk about your past, and you make it very convincing. Why do you do this? Before I talk about Season 2, I've gotta talk about Season 1 and some minor spoilers without ruining your chance to actually watch anything. But if you haven't seen Blacklist Season 1, go watch it. It's amazing. It's great. You'll enjoy it. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. I have to cover some of these things in order to talk about Season 2. So, for the next minute or so, we're going to be talking about a few things of Season 1. Blacklist Season 1 featured a lot of different concepts for us and having a lot of different personal stories between each character. Now, I did say a few of them do get small little glimpses as to what their personal life is, and that doesn't really change throughout, except for Tom Keene, Elizabeth Keene, and also Red Reddington. It's kind of the only thing that matters. While other colleagues get some, it's not a whole lot. And then when some new characters come in that actually have personal vendettas, it makes it really difficult. Like, who's this person? Who's that person? What connection do they have? Well, they're already teasing us about Ray's connection with Elizabeth and what Tom's doing with Elizabeth. You figure out that Tom is actually a spy, and he's not exactly who he says he is for Elizabeth, and that causes some huge rifts in Season 1. Ray's doing everything that he's doing for a reason, all because of a man named Berlin, which in turn turns us to a big revelation as to why he surrendered himself to the FBI in the first place. They've been spending this whole time juggling balls, and now you put a chainsaw in the mix. It's crazy. Berlin is one of those characters that has a personal vendetta against Raymond because of something that Raymond did. Mostly in the two-part season finale, that's the biggest focus point. While Elizabeth and Ray have a huge rift between each other, you just are overwhelmed by the complexities. By Season 2, you think that by the time everything ends in Season 1, you're like, okay, great, we got this. It's going to be really exciting by Season 2. It is still exciting by Season 2, but you're trying to figure out, why is this all happening? They didn't pick up where they left off? No? Okay, all right, that's fine, that's cool. I don't always need that. Who needs that? In turn, what it turns out to be is a lot went down while we hadn't seen it. And again, it leads the actors to actually talk about what had happened without us really seeing it. And they make it convincing enough. But there's a few changes as time goes on. One in particular, from Season 1, there was one character that was in the show, was unfortunately killed off, and it was replaced by a new one. Fine, that's cool and all, but based off her introduction, it was a little strange for her to kind of come up, say, hey, I'm after you, Ray. This new character, we don't really know much about. She is awesome as she is beautiful, and she actually has a very compelling story. But I feel like when we start getting deep into her side of things, it really just kind of amounts to not much at all. On the episode-by-episode basis, I do have to say that there are some very exciting episodes and some not so exciting episodes. I would say that the more the personal side, besides the actual Blacklister, matters more. The Blacklister is supposed to be the one that actually drives the entire episode, that keeps everything going. Now, once in a while, there's like a little scheme that Ray says, actually, I really needed this person to do this person to that, to this, whatever. Makes sense, enough. But then when you get that plot twist once in a while, you're not exactly with the ride. You're just like, yeah, it's typical Ray. Yeah, it's typical Ray. Oh, wow, that's complicated. What are they talking about? Damn it. I'm lost. I'm not saying the whole thing makes you lost. I'm saying that this particular season thrives on the complications between everyone's backstory. There's a lot more plot involved that doesn't exactly amount to too much until the finale, and it depends if you're patient enough to be along with it in the end. In fact, that might turn you off. Please don't let that turn you off, please. It's fine, I promise. I think if there's the best way I can describe Raymond Reddington, is the fact he's like a time traveler. He made all the mistakes throughout the time that we haven't seen, and it's like he time traveled back, and he knew exactly how everything was going to go, and he just went with it. He wasn't smug about it. He was just confident, and he's trying to right the wrongs, which is pretty cool if you think about it. But there's also leaving some room for surprise. As confident as Raymond is, he doesn't always end up being right. So, in the end, he's actually kind of a very flawed character. He just can't show people how scared he is. He has to remain confident. Elizabeth is no different. In fact, she has her own personal agenda, especially after everything with her husband. She's actually causing some problems for herself, and she's trying to face those consequences head on while trying to do the right thing. It says a lot about her. Her actions lead to consequences she wasn't fully ready to accept, which ends up affecting more people. In the end, I would have to say Blacklist Season 2 isn't a far cry away from Blacklist Season 1, but it's honestly a little bit more complicated. It has a lot of story to tell, and it only tells you in mere chunks, and you have to be a little bit more patient for the ride. I'm going to give Blacklist Season 2 a B+. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. What did you think about the Blacklist Season 2? Tell me your praises, tell me your woes. If you like what you've seen here, please subscribe, and I'll get you more reviews in the future.